because I'm on the carnivore diet, I try to make sure that I get some supplemental salt and other kinds of electrolytes. And I typically use this from LMNT, the Element Electrolyte Mix. And I just put it in a bottle of water, and we'll drink this through the day, and that's how I get my electrolytes. However, now that it is cold, I have ordered a different type of element for hot chocolate. And so we're going to make a cup of Carnivore Hot Chocolate. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to heat up some water. This is the same that I use for my coffee in the morning. And we're also going to need a cup. And some butter. And some heavy cream. So here we go. I have about a tablespoon of butter, because no carnivore diet is complete without butter. I have hot water, which we'll use to melt the butter. We will add the chocolate caramel for our hot chocolate. And as Sam, the cooking guy, says, then we mix. And there you have it. A nice way to keep warm, get the electrolytes you need, and enjoy the winter months. Oh, yeah. That chocolate caramel gives it a nice sweet flavor with just a hint of salt, and a nice chocolate flavor. And the butter and the heavy cream make it nice and fatty, so it's really, really good. Oh, my goodness. There is absolutely nothing good to say about this video. I mentioned yesterday that I was rushed because I had a guy here working on the HVAC. Well, whatever he did didn't work, and so they came back today. I spent 7 hours here. I was going to make this video this morning, going to take my time, and by the time he got gone in the afternoon, I was so flustered, I just sort of threw this together, and it is absolutely awful. Let me tell you the things that went wrong with this video. So first of all, videoing in the kitchen is a real problem if I'm getting a wide shot, because the kitchen light is directly overhead. Now, it is set to sunshine, so it's a Kelvin like daylight, but it's directly overhead. And without using an external light, my face is just in shadow the whole time. So it's really hard to get a wide-angle shot of me in the kitchen that looks anywhere halfway decent. The other thing that I was trying something somebody had recommended on a previous video. I think it was yesterday's video or the day before's video on red clay. And they were talking about it would have been nice to hear the leaves crunching underfoot and maybe the water running in the stream. And so I thought, well, that's easy enough to do. I'm using this microphone. I will, I'll hold the microphone in my hand when I'm getting the coffee cup out of the cabinet or when I'm pouring the water. So that the microphone is right there at the action. And that worked fine until I went to adjust one of the levers on the Manus pod to adjust the angle of the camera. And instead of twisting the Manus pod, I twisted the microphone right out of the socket of my phone and broke it. So I went and got my Kamika mics, which are much more expensive. They're like $150. I was trying not to use them. And I didn't do a sound check. And I had the gain set so low that you could barely hear me talking in the recording, and none of the surrounding sounds, the sound of, whipping the drink up with the frother and that kind of stuff, none of that came through at all. And so, by the time I put it together, I was like, well, it is what it is. I'm putting up stuff to be critiqued and to show what I'm learning, what I'm not learning. Well, I learned a lot. It's a horrible video, but I learned a lot. So, go ahead and give me your best shot in the comments about how awful this video was. And I will say one thing, and that is that the Element chocolate caramel in a hot drink is really, really good. It is, they have a little recipe book that comes with it when you get it, and it says to put it in coffee. Well, I did that yesterday, and it was okay. But I just rather have coffee. And so I thought about this today because, I do sometimes drink like bone broth with some butter and that kind of stuff in it. So I sort of came up with this recipe in my head, and it tasted pretty good. And it got me not only the electrolytes and the salt that I needed, but a lot of the extra fat I'd been missing all day. So I guess there's that. Anyway, thanks for enduring. I won't say thanks for watching. Thanks for enduring this awful, awful effort. Please, in the comments, please don't tell me that I'm just being too hard on myself. I'm not. This sucked. We'll see you tomorrow.